So speaking of, let's get into our players to watch for this upcoming year. I know we had a bunch last season. Players like Alejandro Garnacho, who has taken the world by storm. Kiro Matoma was one. Great one. I know you had a couple that have really taken off. Michael Elise, Brice Eze. I'm trying to think of the other ones we had because we had a whole list, and I don't remember now.
This was a year ago, man.
I know there was, I forget his name, the 15, 16-year-old playing for AC Milan who has now already made his first team debut.
Yep, you mentioned him.
Yours truly.
Yep, good job on that one, bud.
So, with those high highs and the bar we have set for ourselves,
can only go down from here.
Can we do it again, Targo, for this next upcoming calendar year? You go ahead and go first. You give me your first one.
So I've mentioned him quite a bit. It's Luca Coglioscio, Burnley player, 19-year-old winger. American, Italian. We'll see who he decides to play for. He's actually born in Connecticut, here in the States, but could play for Italy as well. Currently out injured, but man, Burnley are disappointing, but he is the one kind of bright spot on that wing going forward. Looks to get at players. I think he could definitely be one that should be sticking in the Premier League. That's for sure.
He's very fun to watch, I will say. And it'll be interesting to see which national team he picks because I know the U.S. national team could definitely use a player of his caliber. Don't think Italy could really use a player of his caliber at this moment, but time will tell.
All right, give me one of yours.
You know, I'm gonna go a little off the beaten path for my first one. And I'll save the ones that everybody already knows for later. So I'm gonna go with Matthias Franca for Crystal Palace. I know he's only played in a couple of games. He's only 19, and they just signed him in the summer for Brazil. Crystal Palace has got a gem on their hands, man. He is fast. He likes to take players on. He reminds me a lot of Gabriel Martinelli when he first came to Arsenal. So I'm excited to see what he does in the new year, especially if he can, lock down that left flank. You get Elise on the right, you get Eze in the middle. If they can find a striker that could consistently put the ball in the net, maybe Palace shoot up the table. We'll see. They got to stop leaking goals first, but that's a different story. So that's going to be my big prediction for this players to watch in the upcoming year.
Okay. Well, I'll mention one that I recently watched here in a Champions League game for Man City, Micah Hamilton. That game against Red Star, man, he looked good. He was fun to watch running at players. He got a goal in that game. I think he even got a PK, drew a PK in that one.
Yep.
So Man City might have a little gem there.
Yeah, I mean, for the longest time, I didn't even think they had an academy. They just kept buying players. But now they've got players coming through.
They got players coming through, man. Rico Lewis, Cole Palmer, Oscar Bob.
That was it. Phil Foden.
There you go.
Hamilton. They got a couple coming out. But, just saying, for a while, besides Phil Foden, I didn't think they had an academy. So, all right. My next one, I'm going to go with Yusuf Chermiti for Everton.
Oh, that's a good shout, man.
Yeah, since Onana got hurt, he's 19 years old. He's been playing more than expected, signing from Sporting in the summer. Been a revelation for them in the middle of the park. And Doucouré's got newfound freedom going forward because of it. However, Everton have quite a few youngsters we could shout out on this one. I know you had a couple in here.
I did, man. I did want to have to at least shout out a couple of them. James Garner, 22-year-old in that midfield, and then the 21-year-old center back, Jared Braithwaite.
I was going to go with Braithwaite as well. He's been a breath of fresh air.
Big clubs are looking at him already.
Yeah, and he hasn't even played a full season for him yet. So, yeah, it's a great shout-out as far as Braithwaite and Garner, as well as Chermiti.
Yeah, dude, that was a good shout. I would have completely forgot about him, but I remember watching him play in the earlier games. That's when he was really getting a lot of playing time. And yeah, he looked real good, exciting, quick, to get at defenders.
Well, Everton signed him too because they thought Onana was going to go in the summer. So now they have both of them. Good for them. All right.
Another one, man. I'll mention a couple here. Just Cameron Archer, 22-year-old forward for Sheffield United. He was at Aston Villa last season, or technically at Aston Villa, but he was on loan at Middlesbrough in the Championship. But in the Championship last season, he had 11 goals and 6 assists in 22 appearances.
Yeah.
Quality, man. Quality. And he had a screamer against Wolves. I don't even remember when Sheffield beat Wolves. That was him. Had that.
Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest with you, besides Ollie McBurney, he might be Sheffield United's best player right now.
McAtee, I would also say, is a decent player there.
But top 3, nonetheless.
And then I'll give a shout-out to Jack Hinchelwood for Brighton, 18-year-old defender.
Yeah, I got another goal against Spurs.
Yes, he did. Made my little pick of putting him on there look good.
Yeah, he did. Backed it up.
Brighton have a lot of Bueno Note, though, over there.
And Ciso,
waiting for Julio and Ciso to come back.
Yeah. So, I mean, Brighton's just a hub of young talent. So, yeah, we could just put the whole Brighton squad on there. Except for Solly Marsh, Pascal Gross, and Lewis Duck. Where they're 3 old men.
Billy Gilmore.
Yeah, he's still young.
Danny Welbeck.
There you go.
James Milner, the oldest of them all.
There you go. All right, and then I got 2, but everybody pretty much knows about him by this point. Kobe Mainoo for Man United. I mean, he's put Casemiro out of the squad. Let's just say that.
Should put Casemiro out of the squad, yes.
Yeah. Whether that's Casemiro showing his age finally or Kobe Mainoo just being that good. He's transformed that United midfield.
I think it's both.
Yeah. And then Lewis Miley for Newcastle. I mean, unfortunate circumstances which gave him his debut, but he's 17 years old.
Isn't that how it always seems to happen, though?
Yeah.
Like all these, even Arsenal or all these clubs,
well, I mean, look
injuries start to stack up, and then you have to pull a youngster, and they perform. I love it when I hate to see the injuries, but I love to see the young players come through.
Come in. Yeah, they're so fun to watch. And Lewis Miley's got his name on the score sheet a couple times already. He looks fantastic.
17 or 18? How old is 17. He? I can't remember.
He's 17. Yeah.
17. Ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
17 playing in the Premier League for Newcastle.
Yeah, and
playing in the Champions League against PSG and AC Milan.
So, yeah, I mean, those are our list. Is there anybody we missed, guys? Shout us out. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know who to keep an eye out for. We appreciate that.
Definitely.